On the last couple of updates, I've been feeling that Ableton has been adding too many features on an old design, and the sleek design that Ableton used to have is kind of getting lost right now. Over the last couple of weeks, I started watching some videos on Bitwig, and I was really surprised with the options. I downloaded Bitwig last Friday and I started playing around with it in my time off, and I am really surprised. The program looks so sleek and there are so many interesting options. It feels like they rethought things and put things totally upside down. Also, it is an extremely easy DAW to learn. Everything in the program makes total sense, and they take everything from a total fresh perspective, which makes it so much fun and inspiring to play around with the program. Let's open up Bitwig. We're going to start with some simple things that I love about Bitwig, and we're slowly going to build it up to more and more interesting things. First of all, make your own shortcuts. It's very easy to make your own shortcuts. Command comma and go to shortcuts, and over here I can enter whatever shortcut I want. I can give it my own shortcuts. This makes life so much easier. Because I work in a 3-DAW system, it is very hard on your brain if you're constantly switching between DAWs that every shortcut is different. So with Bitwig, it's easy. I can make it the same as I have at Cubase and as I have in Pro Tools. Ableton, why? Every DAW has this. I don't understand. The explanation panels in Bitwig are crazy. I've never seen this anywhere else, and this makes it so much easier to learn this program. If I click on any device, I press F1, it shows you exactly what all the knobs are doing, but this device is at the same time still working. So I can actually make the decay shorter or longer, give it more punch. This is crazy simple and great because this makes everything really clear and really easy. Bitwig, great one on that one. Next thing, the file management. Within Ableton, everything is in the same folder structure. So if I'm looking for something, often you're in the wrong folder and then it doesn't find it. Bitwig just gives you right away the options that are most logical at that place. For instance, if I add another track, it will go straight to instruments and I can grab any instrument and put it in here. But then if I want to add something behind the instrument, it's most likely going to be a plugin. And there we go. It gives me plugins. It gives me all my plugins that I have on my hard drive, but also the Bitwig plugins at the same time. Not that different folder structure that Ableton's own plugins are in a different folder than the actual plugins. Everything is together here. And what I love is I can just type in what kind of plugin I want, but also a name of a company. Let's call Baby Audio. Love their plugins, but they all have their funny hipster names and I always forget what is what. So I can just type Baby, and here are all Baby Audio's plugins. Or if I use something from Arturia, those are all my Arturia effects. Or if I want something that is a tape, now I get all these tape effects. Very simple, very quickly. And if I click on anything, it preloads it. I can just clap on something else, it preloads it, and then as soon as I put OK, it actually starts working. Super fast, super simple. I love this system. Another thing which greatly helps with learning the program is Control-Enter, and it gives you everything that you can do, and you can just start typing. So for instance, I'm on this track and I want to deactivate it. I don't know the shortcut for that. I don't know where to find it right away because I'm just new in the program. Control-Enter, deactivate. There we go. And it's deactivated. This is really fast. And if I do Control-Enter again, it actually gives you right away activate, because that would be the most logical thing to do. So smart, so easy. It's way easier than go to a help menu that then tells you where in the folder structure you need to be. Another thing that I love that Bitwig has implemented is that you don't have to show all the tracks all the time. I use this option in Cubase a lot. For instance, this is my track. I just made a small little demo, but think about it. If we're working with 70, 80 tracks, I have to scroll through the whole thing, find the track that I want to work on. Over here, I can just click and then choose what folder I want to show. So beat is only my beat tracks. Now I can work in my beat track and like, oh, I want to change something about the sample. I'll go to sample. These are my tracks within sample. And now I can go back to project file and I see everything again. This makes it so much clearer of what you're working on, and you're not constantly working with all these tracks all the time. Another thing that's really great is you can actually have multiple sessions open. This is one session and here is another session that's open. And I can actually grab this track, copy it over to my first session and paste it in. That whole track with the MIDI and all the effects moves just from one session to another. If you're working on film cues and you reuse specific melodies or you reuse certain instruments a lot, it is great to have actually multiple sessions open and you can grab something from this, something from that. This makes your workflow a lot faster. The way that Bitwig uses clips is something I've never seen before. Let's start with MIDI clips. For instance, I got this cello clip over here and I want to edit it, but sometimes it's easier to edit things within audio than in MIDI. I can actually grab part of the MIDI clip and I'll bounce it out in audio. And look, now I have audio straight within my MIDI. And now I can use this audio and I can actually grab the last note and I can reverse it. This is such a fast way to make interesting and fun edits. Another thing that Ableton has is operators. And operators work for MIDI and audio, but I'm going to show you for MIDI first. If I open up this clip and I can just choose these files, and over here I can actually choose if I want these notes to play 100% of the time or only 50% of the time or 70% of the time. I know Ableton in the last version has an option like that as well, but again, the implementation, it's so quick and fast and it's right here, really clear, it's amazing. Another thing that operators can do in MIDI and in audio, but we'll show the MIDI first, and is absolutely wicked. You can just select any MIDI file and over here I can cut it how often I want it to play. So if I want this file to play twice, but if I want it to play 10 times, that's also an option. Or make it 11 times, so it's like a really weird counting. This in itself is already a super fun and great way of playing with MIDI or audio, but I can even say I want this clip to go louder and louder over time. So there we go. I'll push her up. Actually, I want them to start slower and then slowly build up in speed. I can grab it over here. There we go. Or the other way around, I want it to start really fast and then go slower and also play softer and softer. Maybe the violin is not the best way to show it, but you get what it's doing, and try to program this. This is gonna take you a while. I can do this with any MIDI note and it's super fast. It's really great. How does Bitwig handle audio clips? The way they look at audio clips is a way that I've never seen before. I probably don't use the right terminology, but as I see it, they use the clip itself as a container, and you can edit inside the clip, make the weirdest kind of changes, and then you can still edit at clip level. How does that work? I'll show you. So, for instance, this shaker. Let's grab one bar and just simple, straight shaker. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this shaker. Slice in place. I'm gonna use the onsets, which are these markers. Great for now, but I can also just use the beat grid or beat markers if I have them. Okay, for instance, I can just select all these clips and I can now change these over time. So now the pitch is going to change throughout. Do you hear that? That's like a total different vibes already. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with the pan. I just had this clip, super straight, and now we have this. Imagine cutting all these pieces, then repitching all of them the way I want to, and then panning them wherever I want to. That will be a lot of work. And at clip level, nothing changed yet. So I can still make edits inside of here. I can still grab this little piece and duplicate this a couple of times and then reverse this guy and so because you have these different levels of editing, you can get to really extreme and interesting edits. I really love this. Let's quickly grab this whole beat and play around with that. Bounce. Let's do the same thing. Let's cut it first. We're slicing it, slice in place, use the onsets. For instance, I can just grab all of these guys and I can make them shorter or give them fade outs all at the same time. Another thing that I can do right now is actually these guys, I want them to pan really extremely, but the rest I want to kind of stay the same. So if we have this beat, I kind of want to reverse this snare. So choose the snare, press R, and now I reversed it. But not only do I want to reverse it, I kind of want the kick and the snare to reverse in place. Shift R. And I can do this with multiple places. These guys, Shift R, turn them around. This kick, remember the operators? I can do this here as well. I now want this to split 6 times. Actually, I wanted to slow down. Yeah, and I want it to get louder over time. And now I want this snare over here. It's getting a little weird now, but you understand what I mean. Like the amount of interesting edits I can do here is quite amazing. And then now at clip level, I can still grab this part, copy it. Actually, I want this part to reverse. I wouldn't use this, but I kind of want to show you the capabilities of the program in a short amount of time. Sound design. Let's start with LFOs. Bitwig integrated LFOs to the deepest level of any DAW. Ableton had their own assignable LFOs for a while, and I thought that was amazing. Cubase finally added that in their last version, but of course Cubase, it is kind of clunky and the design sucks. The way Bitwig does it is incredible. For instance, I have this lead here. And now I can add LFOs in here. I can just grab an LFO. Standard, simple LFO. There we go. As soon as I press on the arrow, I can choose to what destination I want this LFO to go. So I'll grab the filter and this is a little too much, take a little down. But I also want the same LFO to go to the sync with a little bit less. And then I want an ADSR. I want this ADSR to change the pulse width. A little faster, like a little slap right away. There you go. But I can also put LFOs on different levels. So for instance, now that this synth is in the lead group, I can also at lead group add another beat LFO. Okay, and this guy can change the noise level here, but for the chamber strings, it can actually change the release of the strings. And at project level, I can add other LFOs. I can put an ADSR that whenever I play a synth, it will actually change the attack of my compressor. Don't know why I want to do it, but I could. And the amount of options that you get here are insane. And look at how many different kinds of modulators you can actually add in here. It's crazy deep. You can play with this stuff forever. Another thing that is really cool for sound design is let's take a delay. A lot of Bitwig's effects have the option to place other effects inside the effect itself. For instance, this delay. I can place anything in the feedback loop of the delay, and it doesn't even have to be specifically a Bitwig thing. So I can actually grab a decapitator and put this in the feedback loop. So now every time the delay delays, it will distort more through the decapitator. And I can do a Valhalla vintage verb in there, why not? Having the option to nest effects inside of effects just gives you endless possibilities. Another thing that makes Bitwig amazing is the grid. Bitwig has its own modular synthesis system built within the program. It's kind of comparable to Max for Live or Reactor, but way cleaner and simpler. Some of Bitwig's own effects I saw are built within the grid. So you can actually have an effect and you can open it up and you can see how this effect is built and what is all in there. For instance, let's grab the grid. Effects grid, here we go. Okay, open it up. And here you have, I'm not gonna go too deep into this because this is an endless thing. But I have all different kinds of filters and pitch shifters and shapers and distortions. I got random placers, I got LFOs, delay effects, multiple. So you can basically build your own plugins, whatever you can come up with. It's definitely one of those things that is gonna eat all your time as soon as you start diving into this. There's one more thing I wanna show you, and that is Bitwig split effects. If I type in split, I can choose many ways to split up the sound and put different effects on it. Let's start with the easiest. I have a stereo split and I can put different effects on the left than on the right. But also I have a transient split. And I can actually put different effects on the transients and on the tone. So I can actually distort the transient and compress the tone of a beat. Or I can use a loudness split and I can put a chorus on everything that's super soft and a compression on everything in the mid-range, and as soon as it gets really loud I can put a distortion in there. I can even do an harmonic shift, so I can even put different effects on the odd and even harmonics. That is crazy. It's crazy how it splits out the sound in so many different ways, and it gives you the option to put effects in there. Basically every new cool hipster effects that comes out is a version of this, and you can build it yourself within Bitwig. And you don't have to use only Bitwig effects. You can use whatever effects you have. Like, this can just go as deep as your imagination can go. This is all after just goofing around with the program for 4 days. I can't believe how easy and intuitive this program is, and there are so many more things to learn. I am really excited to see what other discoveries I'll make in this program. I know it won't be all roses and sunshine, but for now it's the most inspiring DAW I've ever encountered. I can't wait to see how Bitwig will work with all my outboard gear, but that's for another time. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.